What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. This time it is the revitalization of Movie Monday. Yes, we are here on a Monday talking about a new movie I haven't reviewed, a movie I haven't seen before. It is The Descendants, a different kind of movie, not the Disney Channel movie now. I could review those, possibly. I don't want to watch them, but comment down below if you want to see me review some bad movies. Maybe we can do some things like that. Who knows? It's up to you guys. Let me know down below. But without further ado, let's get into this review. That rhymed. And let's talk about The Descendants. This film was co-written by Alexander Payne, who was the director, Jim Rash, and Nat Faxon, as it stars George Clooney, Shailene Woodley, and Amara Miller. And it basically details the life of Matt King and what he's been going through. His wife is in a coma, a severe coma that she may or may not wake up from. Not only that, but he has a huge decision on his hands because he and his family own a portion of the land in Hawaii where his family lives and where he grew up. And he's in control basically whether or not they're going to sell the land or keep the land. And it's a big deal around all the islands in Hawaii. People are talking about it and going around saying, is he going to sell it? Is he not? Because it's important to the people of Hawaii. The land is sacred and special. And if he sells it to someone, they're just gonna build a resort and build all these things on top of it, like they've done to a lot of Hawaii, which is shown in the film. Those two contemplations that George Clooney's character, Matt, deals with in the film are really tough on him as an actor and him as a character because of the stuff that he goes through. And I kind of like the full circle transformation that George Clooney's character does. This film won Best Adapted Screenplay at the Oscars, and I think it deserved that. The writing is really good, and it's funny, but also it knows when to be serious. And that's really a sign of a good script. And it's a sign of good performances when the actors are able to execute that script and really put it into another level. The message of this film is family, and that is the core bond between George Clooney, Shailene Woodley, and Amara Miller. That is what the whole movie kind of focuses on. And I think that if that wasn't good, then this movie would have not succeeded at all. I really was focused on the father-daughter relationship between those characters, and that was the big point for me in terms of why I really like this movie. This film takes time in terms of just setting things up and just letting these interactions happen. So that way you really get to know the characters, and by the end of the film, when stuff happens, I don't want to spoil it too much if you're gonna watch it, then the emotional beats land. So it's able to set up those beats throughout the story, and even though it is a slower paced film, and I think that there definitely could have been about 20-25 minutes of this movie knocked off, I also enjoy it because you get more time with these characters and you get more time learning about them and knowing how they're feeling in certain situations, because that's really what the writing does, and it zeroes in especially on George Clooney and Shailene Woodley. It's an interesting premise, this movie, because of the conflict with Matt dealing with his wife being in a coma, and their relationship hasn't been the best. It's very rocky up and down, just like a lot of the relationships in this movie, but he wants to kind of atone for what he's done throughout his marriage and really make up for that. And I think in one way, taking care of his daughters and really bonding with them was kind of his full circle moment, and being like, well, I haven't spent as much time with my daughters. Now he really got to, and he really got to learn who they were, because in the beginning of the film, it was kind of like, I'm not really the best dad. I'm not the number one dad. I'm not the go-to guy. And then he turns into that role model. He turns into that person, and it's really a credit to the writing, and it's a credit to Clooney's performance. I haven't seen a lot of George Clooney movies, but in this one, I was fully invested in his charm and his character, and he has that because he's George Clooney. That's who he is. But I think he really does excel in those moments that are kind of not as George Clooney-esque, where he's like, oh, I'm charming, look at me. Hello, I'm George Clooney, I'm Batman, here's my bat card. No, that movie stinks.
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
But I think he does really do a good job in the quieter, the sad moments in this movie. And that's really where he takes a big step for me, because we all know what he can do in the charming moments, but we don't know what he can really do in the sort of down, more sad moments. And that's really where, for me, he did a great job. So overall, I do recommend this movie. It's a nice movie to watch with your family. That's certainly who I'd recommend watching it with. It's not the most fluid movie in terms of pacing, but it is a good watch and it does have a good heart and message to it overall. So I'm gonna give The Descendants, not Descendants, a 3.9 out of 5. This is a sleeper. I haven't really heard many people talking about this movie. It came out a long time ago in 2011, but it's definitely underrated. And I think that not enough people give it the recognition that it deserves, even though it won an Oscar. Just wanna throw it out there, suggest it, just giving you options here. That's what we do on Movie Monday, show you different movies, maybe movies that you didn't see or maybe haven't seen, and let you decide. Any recommendations for Movie Monday and Fieldy'sFlicks? Let me know down below in the comments what you want to see me talk about next. That'll be all for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate the support as always. I'll catch you guys next time for another movie review. Peace out.